The dollar firmed and oil tumbled as a potential Hormuz breakthrough rattled energy markets. Friday's most active session in weeks. Indexes, metals, Forex, and crypto all in play today, and the day's biggest mover is saved for last. The Dow closed the Friday session with a strong bid tone, price structure continuing to post higher lows as dip demand absorbed selling pressure throughout the day. That pattern keeps the trend pointed higher, and the path of least resistance remains toward higher levels as long as that higher low sequence holds. Ethereum posted a constructive session, momentum building off recent support as buyers stepped in at lower levels with conviction. The trend is firmly pointed higher, and the structure suggests further extension toward higher levels remains the more probable outcome while buyers maintain control. Boeing's price action today reflected the broader equity strength, holding its recovery structure and closing near session highs. The trend continues to lean higher, with the sequence of higher lows suggesting the market remains positioned to probe higher levels in the sessions ahead. Pfizer held a firm tone through Friday's session, with price action staying constructive above key intraday support levels and buyers defending pullbacks. The trend leans higher, making further extension toward higher levels the more likely path while that buying structure remains in place. Qualcomm faced consistent selling pressure through the session, with rallies being faded and the structure continuing to print lower highs. The trend is firmly bearish, and that lower high pattern keeps the path of least resistance pointed toward lower levels, while sellers retain control. Oil was among the sharpest movers of the session, selling off broadly as traders priced in the possibility of a diplomatic resolution in the Strait of Hormuz. The trend leans lower, and that momentum keeps the path of least resistance pointed toward lower levels while the geopolitical narrative evolves. Silver advanced during the session, finding support from the broader metals bid as gold held firm and dollar gains stayed contained. The trend leans higher, with price structure supporting the case for further extension toward higher levels, as the metals complex remains well bid. Bitcoin navigated a mixed session, with the underlying trend still carrying a mild upside lean, but price action showing some hesitation and resistance at higher levels. The more probable path remains toward lower levels in the near term, with the structure needing to prove itself before extending higher. The dollar drew safe haven demand as yields climbed and the yen slipped to 158, while oil prices sold off sharply on reports of a possible Strait of Hormuz diplomatic deal. Gold held firm heading into the session close. The one to watch on the calendar today is U.S. non-farm payrolls. The Canadian dollar pair was under pressure through the session, the strong bearish trend driving consistent selling as markets absorbed both the Canadian employment data and the broader dollar narrative. The path of least resistance remains toward lower levels, with the structure continuing to favor further downside extension. That wraps ForexBullion's Friday evening session recap. Like and subscribe to stay across every major move as it develops. And the weekend edition checks whether today's NFP reaction holds into next week's open. This is general market information for educational purposes only, not financial advice.